We are going to get a good start. I decided to qualified in P4. We have a better start than a red car in front of us, so we are going to make up one position, and we're up to P3 right at the start. Hello and welcome to this race recap at Oschersleben. This is a Mazda race in the rookie class. The car in front of us is blinking, turn 1, always exciting at this particular racetrack. The car behind us is going to go off. We're trying to stay tight so we're not interfering with anything, and they decide to go off as well. We're still in P3. The cars ahead of us are having a little bit of a struggle here going through it. We're also not on the optimal line either. So that means we are in P3, trying to brake early when they are braking. Coasting through here while keeping the gap to the cars behind us roughly the same, and we're pulling away from them. Seems like the cars ahead of us are going to go through here too wide, which is always an interesting choice to make, but one of them backs out and they back out too much, brake here randomly, and that causes us to slam on the brakes a little bit as well. Now they go off track and we're in P2. Lots of opportunities here to overtake. And the car ahead of us is now pulling away, so we need to catch up a little bit and make sure the gap behind us is going to increase as well. That won't really work out for me just yet, as the tires are still cold, and I'm trying to figure out how much the tires will give, how much grip they have, and how far I can take them. While I'm still getting used to the cold tires in lap 1, the cars behind us are now trying to catch up as well. Lap 1 is always the most challenging one for me. I still need to figure out how to practice with cold tires more. Now I do go off track. I need to rejoin safely, waiting for some cars to pull off to the side here. And now that they're past, I can rejoin the track. That's fine. We're now in P4, back to where we started. And now the race is actually on because the tires have warmed up. And I can now try to catch up to them and see what's going to happen. The cars ahead of us, the red and blue one, they're fighting closely with each other, so hopefully that means that they are also going to compromise each other's lines through this particular track and turn, and we are able to stay with them. That seems to be working. They're going defensive. One goes wide, goes back in, the other car backs out, and we have caught up to them again. The gap to the cars behind is widening as well, which is excellent for us. As long as we have faster cars in front of us, I usually try to stay with them as much as possible, learn from their lines if they're faster than me, and that allows me to pull away from other cars behind. As the tires are warming up, I become more daring in my turns, trying to figure out the third last pylon here going through it. The car does brake for some reason, as they have some kind of a struggle with the car ahead. That causes me to go wide and compromises my line through here. At least we avoided a crash and there's enough runway. I'd rather take the off track than crash into something. And as we've seen from the prior lap, or the end of the previous lap, as long as I can see the cars ahead of us and they are battling with each other, we are able to catch up with them again. And the cars behind us are pretty much gone, so there's no threat from behind at the moment, which is excellent, so we can focus on the cars ahead. They are a little bit faster than me, and they are pulling away at this moment, but once the red car catches up to the blue car, they will slow down again because they are going defensive and not racing optimally anymore, which allows me to catch up to them. Since I am a little bit slower than them, I do need them to battle it out with each other so that I can catch up. They're getting a lot more into it up ahead of us. Going through here side by side almost. That's going to be interesting as the car is in the draft of the car. Down that straight, turn 1 is going to be where we will hopefully take an opportunity. They are quite far ahead of us, but now they have contact and they go into the wall. Unfortunately for them, we avoid the chaos and we make our way through here. I'm not sure why they collided. Now there's a car coming out of the pits. That's fine. They are up to speed almost immediately. Nope, they are trying to let us pass and or going aside, but they didn't really slow down, so we can go around them. As long as they're fast, as long as they're going at a reasonable speed, pace, that's fine. I don't need to go past them. There we go. Out of this turn, quite all right. Gearing up, the third pylon from the back is one where I turn in. Trying to go through here a little bit quicker, trying to put a little bit more pressure on the car ahead. Braking in a straight line. The exit out of here, I need to practice a little bit more as well, trying to figure out how wide I need to go. Someone once said I need to go full throttle through the chicane here. I can't quite yet do that. I do lift, no braking, but lifting and then braking before the right turn. That seems to keep me close to where I want to go, although this one was a little bit shorter. I should have gotten on the accelerator much quicker. Now that there are cars coming up from behind again. Those were the blue and red car that were faster than me. They were battling it out with each other ahead of me earlier on this lap. They've now caught up to us again. The car in front of us now does go off track. We have to pick a side. That did compromise me a little bit, but it also compromised the cars behind. One of them crashed into it, so now they're both off track here. The red car is now following me closely, shortly, and the blue car has lost a position. But down the straight, full throttle, off we go. The turn one, do I turn in, then brake, or do I brake and then turn in? I'm not quite sure. I've seen two different cars that are faster than me do it in two different ways. And let me know in the comments how you take turn one. Do you brake, then make a left turn and brake more or keep going, or do you do it the other way? Keeping a good distance to the cars behind us for now. That's excellent. Again, the red car is in a battle with the car behind it, so that keeps them at a safe distance from us, and we can go through here relatively unbothered. Third pylon, turning in. I got that reference point at least right. For the other turns, I still have to work on the reference points. Turn one, I have a reference point, but the other ones, I'm still somewhat experimenting exactly on where I want that reference point to be. I do look at other people's track guides, and they do help a lot, making me go faster, so there's always room for improvement. Looking forward to that taking shape. Couple of turns of lonely racing coming up. Just turn up the music and enjoy until the second to last corner of this lap. On the exit of the last turn, I do go a little bit wide, which is unfortunate. That allows the other cars from behind to catch up and overtake me. I do try not to go back onto the track immediately unless it's safe to do so. I have a bit of a moment here. I unfortunately go across, catch the car before it hits the wall, and now the other cars behind are making a pass. I'm staying on the right, being predictable. I am slower than everyone else coming up from behind, so I do not want to be unpredictable, which means I'm staying on my line, going through here. And now the plan is, again, to catch up to the cars ahead, overtake them, and capitalize on any mistakes that they might be making. Alright, what can I learn? This is now the point of the race where I'm trying to look at the cars ahead, trying to figure out what can I learn from them, how are they going through these turns, where can I go faster, are they pulling me along, what is my delta to the previous lap, and usually if things are improving, I'm happy. There's no car behind us that's really a threat to us just yet. It's always the same two cars in front of us and nobody behind us, so there's a chance that we're going to do all right as long as this continues. The car goes a little wide in front of us, so we can't capitalize on it in this particular turn. We're too far behind, and also not having a good line through that particular corner ourselves, but there's always hope for the next one. We're staying with them. The main thing is to stay with them. I also don't want to put too much pressure on the black car in front of me because I want them to keep catching up to the red car. I don't want the red car to disappear into the distance because the car ahead of me is trying to defend against me. I'd rather have that car pull me along towards the car ahead. The car ahead might be faster than me, which is fine, which is great. If they can get up closer to the red car and pull me along in the way, then that means I'm also closer to the red car. And that puts me into a position where I can capitalize on any of their mistakes. Unfortunately now, the black car in front of us is pulling away a little bit too fast and too far from me, so I need to put my head down and just keep catching up. On this particular race, the clouds are going to roll in momentarily in the next lap over the course of this lap, and coincidentally, once the clouds do move away from the track and it's going to be bathed in the sun rays again and the sunshine, that's also when more action is going to happen. So it's going to be a little bit of a lonely race for a while. The cars ahead are going to pull away a little bit. We're going to stay with them. We're going to pull away. And then once the sunshine comes back, we're going to overtake a couple more cars, have some fun with the back markers. And until then, it's a lonely race, so do enjoy. I'm going to be quiet until then. And we are back. The sun is coming out and we've caught up to another car ahead of us. This is a back marker, so ideally they're going to let us pass, or they're going to continue racing if they have the pace. There's a cone just bopping around. But since they're being held up a little bit, we can now catch up to them as well. We've had several laps of keeping the distance the same, falling back, falling behind a little bit, catching up again, but now we're getting closer to them as well. Now that they're being held up, I really have to also, again, put my head down, trying to catch up to them as much as possible. There's a few spots here. Braking later, but also more gently through this upcoming turn is something I've been trying to do, so I can carry more speed through the corner, and then position the car better for the second turn. I'm going a little bit too close here for my liking, but it's still fine, and I did carry too little speed because I didn't even quite hit the curb on the right side. So that tells me I can go faster as well. Last turn here, perfect. Close enough to perfect, at least for my standards. Through we go. Now we see a bunch of cars at this up ahead of us here on this straight, and again we've had some incidents here before. Keeping an eye on them. Nothing yet. Still everyone is well behaved. Good separation between the cars everywhere, but we're getting closer. Now something has happened before us, in front of us, and we are now catching up to them even better. Alright, we're going to stay behind this car for a while. We're not going to overtake them. This is the last lap as well, so no reason to risk anything. I'm in the points. I'm up ahead quite far, so that's an excellent result. No need to risk it, trying to overtake a back marker who's clearly not willing to give up the position or move out of the way, so we're just going to hang back. There's no threat from behind. We have a bit of a moment here. We're staying back so that they don't take us out by accident by us being in the wrong place at the wrong time as we're trying to make a move on them. But keep an eye on the second to last turn again. That's also, again, where there's going to be an issue. And until then, just watch the lines. I'm trying to stay safe here. There we go. They're having an interesting line through that second to last turn, and now they're hitting the curb, making a mistake. We're far enough back and have control of our own car to brake in a controlled straight fashion, straight line here, and that lets us go through onto the final straight. If you've enjoyed this kind of race recap, make sure you do hit the like and subscribe button, and also let me know in the comments whether or not you like the fewer screens up top compared to the 5 screens that I usually had. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.